Hello, I'm Jessica Renan. I'm an author, horticultural therapy practitioner, and founder of Basker, where I help people use gardening and nature for mental, emotional, physical, and social well-being. I love gardening. I also love inside things like pop culture, which this episode we will be heavily focusing on. I know a lot of you wanted more pop culture, so I am bringing that on this episode. This is the last episode of the season. This really flew by and I had a lot of fun, so I'm going to do a season 2, which I'm very excited about. I'm 95% locked in on the guests for next season, but I am 60% locked in for podcast sponsors. So just like the first season, I want to offer up these ad spots to listeners. So if you have a brand or service that you want to get out there, message me. My email will be in the show notes. I make these ad spots super affordable, especially for a small brand or if you're a solo entrepreneur. And then you'll get a mention in my newsletter too. Before we get to today's guest, a couple things I wanted to tell you. If you're in Charleston, South Carolina or close by, I'm teaching a cut flower workshop at Redux Contemporary Art Center on August 30th, and you can sign up in the show notes or on their website. I'm also offering September 28th a pressed flower workshop at Paper Canopy. I'll put a link to their website as well. And then while we're on break, I'm still taking clients. So if you are interested in learning how to grow cut flowers, you're interested in horticultural therapy, I can do it virtually, I can do it in person, groups, workplace well-being, and private. Email me. Okay, today's guest, Holleb. She is our inside-outside pop culture reporter. I just named her that. I know, like I said, a lot of you wanted more pop culture, so I'm bringing that to you. Allie is the person in my life who's the most online and most pop culture obsessed, so I thought she'd be perfect for this episode. Outside of being our pop culture reporter, Allie is a stylist and master retailer. On the brand side, she's worked at Todd Snyder, Eileen Fisher, and Trunk Club. She also had an amazing retail store called Best & Lowy. These days, she's styling people and helping people shop from their own closets. Okay. It's the end of the season. Thanks for listening this season. The next season will start in October. Before we get to Allie, a quick break from this week's sponsor. It's Love Y'all. This episode is supported by It's Love Y'all. Right now, a lot of us are feeling lonely or disconnected, and I'm pretty sure most of us could use a little love to feel seen, encouraged, and remind us that we mean something. But sometimes finding a stamp, going to the post office, or just finding the bandwidth to write a letter can feel too much. That's where It's Love Y'all comes in to deliver the love. And I mean quite literally, they deliver it. It's Love Y'all sends love notes via handwritten notes in the mail or digital letters arriving by email to tell someone you're in their corner. Here's how it works. You choose a virtual or handwritten note and tell It's Love Y'all about the person you want to send the note to. Then Katie, the founder, gets to work. I've actually received a love note from It's Love Y'all, and it truly made me feel so good. And these notes aren't, "You're special, have a great day." They are long, intentional, and really moving. These notes can help someone in times of heartache, loneliness, or transformation. People from all over the world have been inspired by being seen by their love notes. These notes deliver connections in a time when we need it more than ever, arriving exactly when the person needs it most. And it's something the recipient can keep coming back to when they need a boost of love or connection. If you want to send a love note to a friend, someone in your life, or even yourself, head to itsloveyall.com to get started. ITSLOVEYALL. I can tell you firsthand from getting my own letter that it can change someone's day. Again, that's itsloveyall.com. Allie Holleb. Never say your last name right.
It's a Holleb.
Holleb. So I think the funniest thing about this interview is that you were the first person I interviewed, and now you're the last. You were the first one I interviewed for Inside and Outside, and then we had such technical difficulties, i.e. your computer was freezing, that but I'm so excited that you're my last interview now.
I'm so thrilled that you didn't give up on me. I
Yeah,
was sure
no
you
way.
would have filled your slate of
No way.
interviewees.
You have let me into your bed, literally into your bed, to recover from multiple surgeries in New York. So you will never, I'll give you 100 chances forever.
Oh.
So, what'd you say?
I said thank you for that.
Yeah, of course. One other thing, it's kind of funny. So we're recording this on a Saturday, which I never do because I always record when no one's at home. All the air conditioning has to be shut off. All the fans have to be shut off. No one can move. No one can do anything. So everyone's just downstairs, silent.
Oh, I'm surprised you didn't I'm surprised you didn't send them out for pizza or something.
It's rainy and it's also 1,000 degrees here. I feel like people should be in the discomfort of their air conditioned house. Now that you're saying that, sure. Well, thank you for doing this. On this podcast, we talk about inside and outside things. One of the big reasons why I'm so excited that you're coming on as my final guest is because I got a message from a friend that said, you need more pop culture. Bring the pop culture. We're talking a lot about books. We're talking about, she wants straight up pop culture. So we will do that at the end of this episode for our inside thing.
Yeah.
But to kick it off, Allie, what is your first nature memory or a time that nature really impacted you?
Well, can we tell everyone that my first memory got stolen already?
True.
By another interview? So the beauty of going first and last.
Drew, your first nature memory was picking raspberries with your family, and then Laura Wright was like, that's mine.
Yeah.
So you can still choose that if you want to.
It's okay. I've had time to think about it. Okay. And I just spent a month. We have a lake house in Wisconsin on Lake Michigan. And my friend came and they said to me, if you were ever here wearing shoes, I would be concerned. It's like, that's it. I'm a barefoot in the grass. I'm just barefoot. And I think it's because of growing up there and being able to run around in the grass. And I just want to be barefoot all the time. And I think that that's my memory. There's a picture of me as a kid chasing these big bubbles barefoot in the grass. And it's hard to know if I remember that because of the picture or if I would have remembered it anyway, but it really sparks a lot more memories. So I think it's just being barefoot in the grass, not always loving it when it's wet in the morning and it's dewy and sticking to my feet, but being barefoot always.
I don't know if it's grounding to you. What do you like about it?
That's so interesting. I do. I think it's very grounding for me. My whole life, I've actually loved being barefoot. So the reason that you and I met is I owned a store in Chicago.
I thought you were going to say it's because we were barefoot.
No.
But go ahead.
But when I had that store, I would be barefoot all the time.
Yes.
And people would be extremely distressed. And when I closed the store, which was not open for very long, so maybe not even 3 years later, I had an entire laundry basket full of socks, slippers, and shoes that people had brought me because they were so concerned. And it was I wore shoes here. I'm just not wearing them now. I don't need them. But people were so distressed by the barefootness. Even we were, I don't even know where I was, but I was somewhere last night even, and I just wanted to take my shoes off. And I was like, this would upset so many people if I did it that I won't. But it was what I wanted. My most comfortable would have been barefoot. I don't care if my feet get dirty. I don't care. I just want my toes to breathe. Let them stretch out and wiggle.
I'm curious, growing up in Illinois, right outside of Chicago, were your parents inside shoe people? Or
the inside shoe thing I never encountered till I lived in a city, inside and outside. I don't recall having to take my shoes off at certain people's houses being a thing.
Okay.
Is that something you remember from being a kid?
Well, it's wild because there was one person named Jennifer. I'll remember her last name. But I remember that was the first time I had ever encountered Jennifer Grey. No, that's the lady from
Dirty Dancing.
Dirty Dancing.
Who ended her career with a nose. She ended her career with a nose job.
Yes, she did. Her name might have been Jennifer. She had a color last name. But anyway, Jennifer, I remember going over to her house. I mean, this was 3rd or 4th grade. Her parents asked that I take off my shoes when I came inside. And it felt this wasn't a fancy house in the middle of the Midwest in Columbus, Ohio, but was like, oh my God, they're so fancy.
Yeah.
And I just felt like, I remember telling other people, like, their parents make you take off your shoes. Now,
funny.
the second anyone gets their toe near my door, I'm like, please take off your shoes.
You do. You have inside sandals and outside sandals, which took me a minute to understand.
I personally have
yeah.
shoes I only wear inside and shoes that I only wear outside.
And I'm not saying anyone's right or wrong. Everyone's free to do what they choose in this instance.
Mm-hmm.
When people live in this city, I understand more, even though it's all the same, why they want that, because we're walking the whole time. You know, we're never not walking somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows where our feet are? And I guess it's true of anyone. But like, if you just drove from your house to my house.
Well, I will say this. I mean, yes, I live in Charleston. I don't live in New York, but it is a very walkable city.
Yeah, fair.
A lot of my friends are walkers. They're bikers. Regardless, even if they just walked from their car to my house, ew.
Do you sit on your bed in outside clothes?
Ew, no.
I'll wear the same clothes for 3 days in a row.
No.
And sleep in them too.
If Dan, who's my husband, will come in to our room after day and he'll sit on even just the edge of the bed. Oh, no, please. And what do I call them? I don't call them outside clothes. I call them something, street clothes.
Street clothes.
Yeah, I don't know why. It's just, and the street clothes thing was not a thing that I did until maybe like 5 or 6 years ago. And I think too, because I, garden so much, I've got dirt everywhere outside. Like I don't want to track in everything either. And it's not even always a bacteria situation. It's just a little filth.
Yeah. This is reminding me, many years ago, one of my friends' kids was having, they needed to get some scopes done for inside of their stomach. They were having allergic reactions to things, and it was in their stomach. And we were in Chicago at the time, and we went to the Milwaukee Children's Hospital. And the nurse said, we never see farm kids in here for this stuff. And I was like, whoa, that's so crazy, right? Because like they're playing in the dirt, they're with the animals.
Yeah.
So when you say the garden in the dirt, that's what I think of. But then I was just talking to a girl who grew up in New York City, and she said, I like never washed my hands. Georgia.
Wait, is this Georgia?
No.
Okay.
But like, how can you not think that? Pop culture, Next Gen NYC, everyone. If you need to know more, let us know. But this girl was like, I never washed my hands. I don't exactly remember. She goes, but I never got sick. And I was like, oh my God, city kids and country kids are the same. It's the suburban kids who are sanitizing to death.
Yes.
Yes. Such as like city kids in New York City, their hands are all over subway poles and like picking their pacifiers up off the ground and putting it back in their mouth. There's all this gross stuff that they do, but it's all it does at the end of the day, I think, is build their immunity, I hope.
Well, and also if you think about, we're definitely thinking of just about American culture now.
Yes.
Like in a lot of Asian households, no shoes, totally. Period. Totally. They have slippers at the door.
Yeah.
So I just actually watched the latest episode of And Just Like That. And Charlotte got into Carrie's bed to do a Zoom sitting on the covers with her street clothes. I was like, wow.
Did Carrie care?
No, she didn't care because Carrie decides to care about things and not care about other things. Like,
I haven't
Aiden had sex with his... Wait.
Don't ruin it.
Okay. Sorry. Well, okay.
The internet told me that we hate him again. It's a fine. We never.
Well, but that's not why. Okay. Wait, how many episodes behind are you?
This whole season.
So you're caught up?
I haven't watched this whole season.
Oh, you haven't? I thought you said you're caught up on this whole season.
No, sorry, I haven't watched. But the internet.
Are you going to watch it?
I think I watched the first one, and she was literally wearing a diaper on her head. It was like this huge beret.
Oh my God,
I kind of checked, and I was like, "What are we?"
Okay, I will say though, this past episode, there was this scene of her walking to meet someone, which I guess I can't say it because you're not.
It's a burger because someone said burger.
No.
The internet said burger is endgame for her.
No, it was this guy. Whatever. Are you watching it or not?
I don't know.
Okay. Anyway, she's meeting this guy and she's strolling over this on the sidewalk and the water is glimmering and her like this trench she wearing is flowing and the dress and the shoes and her hair is perfection. ooh, like this is what I missed about this show.
Yes. I watch it most likely. I just don't have an HBO password on my devices.
Okay.
I have a TV that has it. I just can't access it on my devices.
Okay.
So I
know. I always think that if for some reason I got logged out of all of my streamers,
you wouldn't get back in.
I mean, because I've got passwords from you. I've got passwords from my sister. The only thing I pay for right now is Netflix with commercials, which feels like
that's so tough. You know this about me. I'm currently subletting my apartment, so I'm bouncing from people's houses, and none of them have streaming services that don't have commercials, and it is wild to me.
Because they can do it.
They could do whatever they want, and they won't pay to not have commercials.
Well, that's probably why they have such nice houses.
Touche. I mean, that's $6 a month they're saving. I cannot handle it. I pay for full Peacock. There's no
thank you very much because I use your Peacock.
It's also a time saver. These shows are only 44 minutes.
True.
Time is money.
Yeah, people. I mean, listen, I'm on Netflix and Hulu with commercials now. I, just graduated school. I'm starting a new business. I could just get rid of it completely, but there's some things I need to watch. So
no, yeah. I already thought of things that I want to make sure you know about because you're not on social media. And if you stop streaming things, I don't even know what we'll have to talk about anymore.
Life, politics.
No, I don't want to do that.
But okay, actually, I want to get to that. We'll get to that during your inside thing because you used to be hardcore political lady and now you're not. But we're going to wait to get to that.
Fine.
So back to the grass, just to kind of end with that segment. Yeah, I mean, I think it's interesting with the grass because it is such a grounding thing, and you living in New York
makes me so aware that I'm unable to literally touch grass or literally put my feet in the grass. And so when I can, I'm very excited to do so.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah. I mean, there's parks and stuff you can go to in New York.
Of course you can do it, but I just the other thing
easy access.
It's easy access. And what I realized after spending time at the lake this summer is I'm outside there 80% of the time. I sleep on a screened-in porch. Again, never put shoes on. I'm just outside always. And I just really appreciate that. And in New York, I get that too because I like to walk places when I can, whenever I have time. So I still get the outside thing, but it's different.
The barefoot thing. Do you get pedicures currently?
Yeah.
Okay. Because, when you're on the Netflix with commercials and Hulu life, you also don't get pedicures. And,
well, I mean, let's just let everyone know that I live beyond my means. There's not a lot of
it's a normal thing for people to get pedicures, but when you got to cut back on certain things, that was one of the first things to go. But I mean, I will say that, around my family, I'm barefoot, but my toes have not seen an open toe shoe in 3 years because I am not one to be able to care for my feet on my own. They're clean, right? But I'm out there gardening a lot, open toe worthy.
This is very interesting. I've been thinking a lot lately. This is a weird one. So one of my first jobs, I worked for Eileen Fisher. I started working for her in 2000. So it was probably 2000 or 2001. And we would there were email forwards that would go around. We didn't have social media then, right? And one of them was about a pledge by women to not wear open-toed shoes if we didn't get pedicures. And we all passed it around. It was that is so right. And now I'm old.
A pledge?
It was a forward. No one was actually pledging, but it was
within the company.
No, sorry. I just remember that's the desk I was sitting at when I read this email. But it was a forward that was going around. No matter, your friends would send forwards. You'd read something. You'd forward the email to 10 more people, and then they'd forward it to the next.
Okay.
And this one forward, because again, there was no social media then. That was how we communicated things, was about women pledging not to have unsightly toes and wear open-toed shoes. And at the time, it was and now...
who cares?
Now I'm fuck that shit. If I want my toes to be open, I want them to be open. And if my toenail polish isn't perfect or my heels are cracked, I don't care. Fuck
and let me tell you, I don't actually care what other people think about it. I just like looking down at my feet and not be like, whoa. And I think it has a lot to do when my feet look like they look often
Yeah.
without a pedicure and like gardening. They look like my dad's feet.
Oh,
Which
interesting.
feels startling to me
Yeah,
at times.
I don't have that, so that isn't it. That is a whole other layer. If I had that, I would cover them up constantly. I've no doubt. I've never once looked at my feet. Oh, 90s and early 2000s fashion ideals and stuff.
Right. Like, don't wear white after Labor Day.
Right.
Anyway, let your toes out if you want to. And if you
toes
feel
out.
bad that they look like your dad's, cover them if you want to as well.
I shave my feet because my toes are hairy. So I'm just telling everyone that so that they can feel free.
100%.
Feel free. Do what you got to do.
Okay. All right. So that was your nature memory that turned into 100 other things. Also on this podcast, every single episode, I give you a research, a study, an article about something to do with the way that nature can help us or heal us or make us feel better. Mm-hmm. And Allie, I chose this for you. So you have a huge fear of birds. I think more pigeon specific than anything, but
it's a flapping, I've learned.
So this research, this study is called The Joy of Birds, the effect of rating for joy or counting garden bird species on well-being, anxiety, and nature connection. It was published in 2023, and overall, it says that this study was a simple, brief bird watching activity can result in lower anxiety, greater well-being, and increased connection to nature with huge benefits to engage emotionally. And I don't know, I wanted to bring this to you because as much as you have a fear of birds, maybe if you started watching them, counting them, really like studying the beauty of their feathers behind glass, maybe.
Yes.
It could be maybe a way to start to get a connection with birds.
So every time we talk about this, I think of the same thing. I love to read good, bad books. This is not my inside moment. This is just a bird-related anecdote. And I read one called Birding with Benefits. Mm-hmm. It's a Hallmark movie in a book. That's what I like. And it's about a guy who's doing a bird watching contest and he needs a partner and he finds this random woman and they go partner and bird watch. Mm-hmm. And at the end of the book, I'm not ruining anything. She's washing dishes and she's looking out the window over the sink. And she was like, there are the birds. The birds have always been there. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh my God, the birds have always been there. And so that somehow has really stuck with me. Nothing else. This book was cute. Everyone should read it if you're looking for easy read. But I really appreciated that. And I've been trying to heat that a little bit more. So even in New York City, I don't want to look. There are pigeons around and I won't freak out. I'm noticing things more. And then there's starlings, I think they're called in the city also. And they're actually really pretty. Their feathers are really pretty. They're little. And so I've been trying to take it in more.
Okay, that's great.
I now like when I can identify a bird of prey soaring in the sky. You can tell by their wings.
Yes.
Because they're aerodynamic. So that's cool to watch for a minute.
Have you ever seen a hummingbird?
Yeah, they're kind of cute when they're far. It's almost I was sitting, I'm in Colorado right now, and I was in a backyard the other day, and a hummingbird flew in because there was a feeder, but it was high up in the tree, and I was like, oh, that's nice. I saw it, I watched it, I didn't leave, I enjoyed it.
Okay. I love that. I love that you're starting to not be so fearful. I don't know that if I've ever told you this story about flapping, but when I was in, I think it was middle school, I was playing a sport outside. It was sitting. Maybe it was softball. I don't remember, but a dragonfly, a huge one, attached to my lip. What? And it was just
Jessica, this is the most... I almost want to throw up. This is terrible. And everyone's like, dragonflies are good. They eat bugs because this is my whole life. And it's I get it, and I still want to go inside.
But also it was terrifying.
I'm nauseous. I'm upset.
Let's move inside for your inside obsession pick. And really, let's be clear, it's not just going to be one thing. It's going to be pop culture at large.
My inside thing is pop culture, and I'm actually glad you've had a whole season, because I think I wanted it to be my thing, and you didn't. You told me no, and now I'm really glad it can be pop culture.
No. I didn't say you couldn't. I said I don't want to just talk about Love Island.
Love Island, fine. It was that was the pop culture of the moment.
It
at the
was,
time.
but it was at the first few episodes, and I'm like, I don't really know if we should cover this deeply because people haven't watched it yet.
Okay, fair. So, but my inside thing is pop culture. It could be news. It's whatever's trending right now. And
you are my most in tune to pop culture really friend.
It means a lot. I have one other friend who I have to turn to oftentimes when I don't know the answer. Usually it's a TikTok star or someone who's like a Gen Z or something, and I have to ask her. Mm-hmm. But I love being the person that people can call to explain the thing that they read about that they don't know anything about.
Mm-hmm. And I'll have to say, this is not a flex, but I will say, even though I am not on social anymore, I do feel like I am tuned in
somehow.
I keep up because I subscribe to a lot of newsletters.
You keep up, and I should learn some more of those because I think I need to get back into some newsletter love and reading.
Yeah, because I don't want to learn about pop culture via TikTok reporters. It's just not how I like to learn.
I mean, I'll do the work for you so I can disseminate it appropriately because I am new into TikTok and I'm really enjoying myself over there.
New? I feel like you've been on it for a while.
I've had the app, but I went on it a couple times, and I don't know if I set this up or what, but all of a sudden I'd be scrolling. I was very aware that it would suck me in differently than any other social media app I would be on. And then I would get something that come up that said, you've been scrolling for a while. And it would freak me out. And I was like, I don't want to go on. And I would not go back. Love Island this season, I'm in. I'm back. Done. I was hanging out with my friends all 6 weeks. Every time anything happened, there were 39 people to tell me what to think about it. And I appreciated it so much.
Okay.
So now I'm on it again. And I'm kind of into it. Back.
Okay.
Kind of back.
So bring us... We can do a little bit of...
I actually took notes. I took notes on 3 things that I actually haven't even talked to you about. And I wonder how much you know about these things.
Oh my God, I'm so excited. Okay. What's your first thing?
The first one you mentioned, but it's Jax from Vanderpump Rules. Continue.
But I will... Okay, so just to give a little summary of Jax Taylor, he used to be on Vanderpump Rules, institution originator in the reality TV space. Mm-hmm. He got fired from Vanderpump Rules. Now he is on the show called The Valley, which I will say briefly not excited about at all. But then once I started watching the first season,
television.
Oh my, because when you saw the trailer for The Valley,
thought I would hate it. Didn't want to watch it.
Yes, I was like, I'm not watching that.
Yeah.
Now I'd watch it over multiple shows.
Yeah. Not everything I have on my list is Bravo, everyone, so we just have to touch on this really quick.
Okay. And I'll have to say, so I watched the first episode of the reunion. I don't even think it's funny anymore to talk. He actually is an abusive person. And so it's really difficult to watch because he is a monster. And I think for so long, he was kind of like this goofy... he lied. He was not a good person, but you could still say okay, well, but he's not harming people.
Yeah.
And now he is, and he has since been, he quote unquote is taking a break from the show, meaning that Bravo fired him. But it's just not even fun. It's really gross.
Yeah. Well, so you're not on the internet, but the internet agrees with you that this show has gotten very dark. And it's all about these couples who are now getting divorced and they all live in the Valley. And it's just not the same shiny LA, we work at a bar life. It's just got really dark.
Because they're not 20 anymore and they all have kids and stuff.
Right. And mostly dark because of Jax, even though he wasn't even on a lot this season. He was supposedly in a rehab, but it was not rehab, and rage texting everyone the whole time. So it was just a heavy, it wasn't light or fun, yet it was still we all had to watch it. It was one of our favorite shows on Bravo, even though again,
I know I'm very glad that he will be gone next season so I can kind of just go back to enjoying it. Because it's almost like watching a dark documentary on HBO Max.
Mm-hmm.
But it's on Bravo, and it's supposed to be kind of kooky and like, oh,
Right.
and it's like, guys, this is not.
But actually interesting because like this is real, and he's been on reality TV for like 20 years or something. Is that too long? Am I saying that too long? But he's probably
been, because he's like 46.
We're watching his downfall. The whole thing is just wild. So anyway, Jax Taylor was on my list because you mentioned him, and so big. I don't like giving him all this time or space, but he shouldn't be on TV. But anyway,
all right.
Other pop culture that's not Bravo.
Mm-hmm.
And you and I haven't talked about this, and I don't know how much you know about it because you don't exist in a social media space.
Mm-hmm.
But Kelly from The Real World and Scott Wolf.
Wow. Kelly.
Do you know what's going on?
I do know what's going on, and you're kind of bringing a lot of dark stories.
I know. The last one's not dark, I swear.
I don't even know if I want to talk about this one.
Okay. I just thought, like, that's some serious pop culture that's happening right now.
Yeah. So, to briefly, this is what I do know, but Kelly from the original Real World, married to Scott Wolf from Party of Five, now on this show that I'm kind of into.
What show?
What is it called? Hold on. Scott Wolf, IMDb. Okay. Oh yeah. So he's on this new show that I'm kind of into called Doc.
Oh, interesting.
Okay. It's a show about this woman who is like this.
Sorry.
What is that? Are you on TikTok while we're doing this?
No. Scrolling Instagram for happier pop cultures.
Just we have enough to talk about. Don't worry about finding something else. But this show called Doc is about this woman that is like the head of this hospital. Okay. Mm-hmm. And she gets into an accident and she gets this amnesia, which takes her back 7 years. So she re-enters her life like basically it's current time, but she thinks it's 7 years ago. So like she's still in love with her husband who has since left her. Her son has passed away in that 7 years. So she kind of has to grieve and figure things out all over again. But Scott Wolf plays a guy that is another doctor on the show, and he did something dirty that she figured out before she got into her accident. And so now that she's coming back, like he's being all shady and she's starting to figure out you did something bad, but I don't know what it is yet.
Well, which is confusing because it kind of mimics real life, but not at all.
Yes.
Which is she's just having a total break from reality. And
Kelly from The Real World.
Kelly. And she's posting all of it on social media and wanting to be with her kids and get into her house and she got arrested and blamed her husband for abuse, but she clearly is like having a serious mental struggle. This is a terrible pop culture thing to talk about.
Yeah, let's move on.
Sorry.
Okay, let's go to your third one.
My third one is Pam Anderson and Liam Neeson. It's really I'm having so many feelings about this. Did you see Andy Cohen talk to them?
No. I was going to say, did you see her Architectural Digest photo shoot?
No, I gotta watch it.
Absolutely. I don't know if it's a video, but it's photos. It's absolutely stunning. There's a shot of her in this trench coat. She has this really cool, like short bob with bangs, and she's watering her garden because you know that she's like a huge gardener. No. Do you know about that? She has a whole show about her gardening life.
I have not paid attention to Pam Anderson until she stopped wearing makeup. Thank you for that. And now this.
Okay. So tell me your feelings about her and Liam Neeson, because it makes me very happy.
I'm thrilled.
Okay.
I just saw a tweet and it said maybe the two of them getting together can be the beginning of the world getting fixed. If you have a few more things, maybe things can make sense again.
Because she also left a very abusive person in her past.
Is that what's his name? Brandon? Tommy?
Yes.
Again, didn't pay attention.
I guess I've always paid attention to her because she's a vegan, and
because she was a big PETA supporter.
I track everyone that's vegan.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, and then also the gardening thing. I'm just like,
Well,
you got it. And I just think it's so beautiful because she was known as this, very sex symbol, and now she's just gone supernatural. She's a huge gardener. She has reconnected with her sons that are helping her build her business, and now the Liam Neeson thing is just really beautiful.
Just so everyone knows, she and Liam Neeson is starring in a remake of The Naked Gun, and she's in the movie. And they met while filming it, and they're now dating. And it's unbelievable. The whole press tour is now about them. And he's like, when I first met her, I just couldn't believe how beautiful she was. They'd never met before filming this movie. And she said he just put me so at ease, and he was funny. And now they're fully dating. And so back to Bravo, I can't help it, but his late wife was Natasha Richardson, who passed away from a ski accident. We all know and love her from Parent Trap, plus many more things, but she was the mom in the Parent Trap. And they're part of a group of friends where they're really good friends with Andy Cohen. And Andy Cohen always talks about, one, how big Liam Neeson's dick is, and two, he hasn't dated since Natasha, or they don't tell us about it. And they just did an interview with him as a press tour. And at the end, he was like, there's so much about her that's top. They call her Tasha, his late wife. And we're all just so happy and loving this next iteration, which makes me even happier knowing that his friends are all on board, and that she has things about her that are reminding them of his late wife. And it's just oh my God, this is amazing. And we all should be so lucky and find this joy. And it's just very sweet and wholesome. And I am here for it.
I love that. And
yes,
I think also, when I think it was at the Met Gala when she showed up
with no makeup.
sans makeup. I think what's wild is even when Lorde was at Met Gala too, everyone's like, oh, what happened to these women? It's that's what real women look like.
Right. Exactly.
They haven't done stuff to their faces.
Exactly.
And you're actually getting to see the texture of their skin.
Right. I just caught clips of Lena Dunham on a podcast with Evan Ross Katz. And she was saying how there's a point in an actor's career when if they're a certain size, it all becomes about the nips and the tucks. It's the only thing you think about is fixing this part, fixing that part to maintain my career. And so she said she was just caught in some paparazzi shots. She wrote a movie that's being filmed in New York right now with Natalie Portman as the star. So there's a lot of people trying to take pictures. And she's like, I realize I'm being photographed and I'm wearing this huge white t-shirt from Uniqlo and these boxer shorts. And I can't believe this is what they're taking my picture in. But I made a choice years ago to not have my career be the nip and tuck career. And I know that for me to do my job, I'm very comfortable wearing this and I will do my best job, which is very much how I like to talk about life when I'm styling clients. Are you comfortable? How do you feel? What can we do to make this work for you, not for everyone else? So I really appreciated it, but it made me, it's making me think of the no makeup thing too. It's finding ways to remember that we're all just people, actresses.
Well, and again, that's
people.
What weight, no makeup,
Exactly.
having texture in your skin. This is what 99% of the world looks like. We're just seeing this very small percentage of people that are highly filtered and highly have filters.
Right.
And it can make you feel, and I mean, I'll have to say, sometimes when I watch The Real Housewives, I'm shocked a lot of times at what they're doing to their faces. And I mean, if it makes them feel good, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
But it's almost another form of dysmorphia that they're, I don't know.
Right. The why behind it, right? We all have different reasons and we all want to feel good and feel accepted and whatever, but everyone's why and what's driving them. But anyways, that goes back to the Pam Anderson thing. So that was my happy pop culture moment.
Thank you for that.
For this but just pop culture in general brings me life and joy. It just does.
One pop culture thing I wanted to bring up to you that I had text you was People Magazine.
Yes.
Do you ever go to People Magazine?
I know that if I see something from People Magazine, it's true. They're known to be the reputable source. So if you're hearing a rumor, but People hasn't written about it yet, you don't know for sure if it's true. Once People writes about it, it's real. I see them on like, I see it on social media or on like, I read like I'm on Apple News app. So I see stuff through there, but I don't actively seek out People magazine. I stopped doing that though in my teenage years when it'd be like, celebrity, child without a leg.
Okay. So that's what I wanted to talk about.
I didn't want that for my celebrity gossip, so I moved over to Us Magazine after that. Too wholesome.
So I religiously went to Delisted, RIP. Delisted was a pop culture website, and it stopped maybe 3 or 4 years ago. Mm-hmm. And there's still to this day that sometimes I'll go and I'll start and I'm like, oh, it's not there anymore. But that was my, for 20 years, I think.
Yeah.
I would look at that almost every day. Yeah. I go to New York Mag, but sometimes I'm like, well, People, because I'll like see a link or something. To your point, it has the most depressing stories that you could ever imagine. And they have taken it up a notch with the way that they write headlines. It is the most horrific. I don't even want to repeat the types of things that are on there. And they're also reporting these quote unquote exclusive stories that are happening on TikTok. So one of them that I saw was like and I'm not kidding you. This was a story. Actually, let me just Google it right now and see what the exact thing was. Exclusive woman TikTok Botox sweat. Okay, here we go. This is an exclusive story. Okay, I'm not kidding.
Yeah.
Woman jokes she's scheduling Botox upon seeing massive sweat stains under her arms after a work meeting. That's an exclusive story on People right now.
You should see
and then it just shows a woman from TikTok with big, visible, quote unquote, underarm sweat stains on her white long sleeve shirt.
I don't get why this is news. People have been doing that for years.
But I just like, they take these, which is not really a story from TikTok, but they're just like pulling these things from TikTok and they're labeling them exclusive. And I'm like, it feels so weird. And I guess maybe because everything in the world right now that it's like actually important. So they're like, oh, what's our exclusive? A woman with pit stains? What's happening?
I hear that and I'm like, okay, they need content too, but like that is dumb. Sorry.
Anyway, it's like,
I actually wonder if AI wrote that.
I don't know, dude. It's not an exclusive story. And I will say when Delisted ended, I was thinking, I'm not really a Just Jared. I'm not really like, I don't want to go to those sites or like a pop. What's that other one? Like
Popcaster or something. You're not going to like what I want to say right now, but I feel the way you feel about Delister, about Gawker and Jezebel. I miss them.
Oh, well, I have the story about Gawker.
I know. That's why I said you're not going to like it. But those were my
I don't need to go into this story, but I will say that once I worked for a celebrity and Gawker called me something very horrible. Yeah. And they didn't even know me.
Right.
And I will also say the kid that reported to Gawker about me, I called that kid's professor and I ratted him out.
What did he do?
Okay, I'll just tell it. So I was working for this celebrity and he had a clothing line that I was quote unquote the creative director of, which was just basically him like calling me or texting me at 2 a.m. and being like, hey, we should make a shirt with like a bear holding a pizza with an astronaut helmet, and then having to figure out how to make that. So I had to hire an intern to help me. And so I was interviewing a bunch of people, and this kid came in who acted very cool, very too cool for school. And I was wearing this like big, voluminous, like bubbly kind of jacket thing.
As we do.
And so I'm not kidding you, the same day, because this was in the morning, The same day, my celebrity boss calls and says, "What's going on?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "You are mentioned in Gawker hiring an intern for my clothing line." And I'm like, I don't know how they found that out. Like, and then the way that the reporting was, this kid called me something that was not very nice. And I figured out who it was just by the description of the unknown source. Mm-hmm. So I found out where this kid went to college, and I called his professor and told him what the kid did. And then the kid called me and he apologized.
Do you think he understood and meant it?
Oh, because I called and I was so not understanding. I was just very silent and let him apologize, and just was like, "This is absolutely disgusting and unacceptable." And you could tell that he was mortified because
he knew he did wrong.
Who wants their professor?
Right. Good for you.
Anyway, Gawker, I think, is disgusting. I mean, I think it's one of those things where it's all fun to look at until you're actually reported on in a very gross way.
Right. When Hulk Hogan died, my first thought is he ruined Gawker.
He was also a racist, but yes.
Sorry. I just didn't follow him past here. I was like, yeah, okay. You're not someone who I need to care about anymore, but you are the one who...
But Gawker is back.
It's not the same.
Okay, it might not be the same. And isn't Jezebel still around as well?
Still around, but they're not the same.
It's not the same. I mean, I feel like most of those media places are not the same because they cut so many people.
Right, it can't be.
I'll have to say, part of that's because you watch TikTok so much.
Okay, listen. As I say to people who are like, get mad at me when I don't have a reusable coffee cup. Until Exxon stops making oil or whatever they do, I'm not the one ruining this for everyone. I'm just one person. I believe in individual. I believe in a lot of things. I want this world to be better than it is with some of this stuff.
That's one last thing I wanted to talk to you about. And we can just, I don't want to go deep into the actual politics of the world. But you, prior to Teabag getting into his second term, you were very politically activated and really constantly reporting to me on different news stories and very active politically. And you've since had to sort of pull back in terms of your media diet. And do you think you were already into pop culture, but do you think that you've dove in even more because of everything that's going on?
It's so interesting. So I just remember this, but in 2016 when he won the first time, I was working for a company called Trunk Club, and we were a personal shopping startup, and we had clients who would come in and shop with us. And they were, for the most part, it was like men in New York who could afford this service. So they were like wealthier men. And one day someone came in and he was like head of a bank. He was like he built the lacrosse field at Harvard, like whatever. He was just like a big deal. I Googled him recently because I remembered this story, and he is a billionaire now. He was not he was probably on his way. Don't get me wrong.
Probably has Netflix without commercials now.
After the election, it was like the day after in 2016. And I was like, what do we do? And he was like, read a book. And I would spend the morning listening to the news. I would read the news on the subway. I would get to work and I would be totally distressed. And it was the day after the election, and I was like, the New York Times isn't acknowledging anything that they did was wrong, because they were saying it was going to be Hillary no matter what. She was the one who could win. And after that, I started reading a book on the subway. So I would still listen to the news in the morning or read my news in the morning, but then I would stop. And it really did change my day. So social media, it's easy for some of us, and we go deep and you can spend a lot of time on it. And I also like to read the news. So I've definitely dialed back, and it's made Bravo much more important for me of late. And now I'm finding myself balancing out again. But I really checked out of news for a minute because it's too much and too distressing. I just shared a video by Blakely Thornton. Do you know who he is? You would like him if you were on. I like his takes, and he does a lot of social media stuff. But he just posted, and he said, I'm sorry, my white left-leaning friends, you're over democracy now? You're done? You're right. I still want to remain like engaged and knowledgeable. I think it's so important. I'm staying with my brother right now. And I would say that we really align on most things, but the more I'm reading and the more I'm talking to people, we're all experiencing everything differently, because you could be laying in bed next to your partner and think you're in the exact same space, but if you're scrolling, you're seeing different things in your algorithms. You just are. There's a book about it called Doppelganger, if anyone's interested.
Oh God, we've talked about that on this podcast.
And that was my biggest takeaway from that book was that. I mean, obviously there's more to it, but we don't know what anyone else is looking at on social media in particular, or just on the internet.
And I think the key is I'll go through bouts where, especially with this tariff stuff, I've just been, I've been so obsessed with the tariff things. And I think just because has truly impacted friends of mine, like actually having to close their business, and I don't have to search for it every 2 hours. I can search for it once a week. Yeah.
Exactly. Right. One, that's so true. Like there's so much coming at us that like it's okay to wait 3 days and like
because it's going to change.
No one has time if things are happening in real time. Even when I'm reading the people who are telling me about it, they haven't had time to process it themselves. They don't. Right. They're only telling me that seconds, like a day or two later, who knows what their take on it's going to be. Right. So yeah, I think that's something it's really important to me to have like multiple news sources. So I mentioned the Apple News app, which I think is actually messing with my algorithm. I think it's like feeding me things and not feeding me things. So I'm trying to be more thoughtful and seek things out. But what I like about it is I can read the Wall Street Journal and read what all the rich people in New York are talking about. I can read the Washington Post. I can check out the Seattle newspaper, the LA paper. So I can kind of get a sense of like different tones and voices, and just keep an eye, even like I'll go to Fox News once a week just to like skim the headlines. I can't go deeper than that. It tends to hurt too much, but just to kind of keep myself engaged. I get upset with my left-leaning friends who all they do is read the New York Times and watch MSNBC. And it's like, well, you're no better than anyone who only watches Fox News. Sorry, right. You're just not. Because the other thing I keep trying to remember as I started this by saying about the video, like white people giving up on democracy after like a year of feeling uncomfortable, is that this country wasn't perfect last year, 5 years ago, or 10 years ago. Many people suffered and continue, like the same people will continue to suffer, but it's not like I want to get back to where we were in 2016. I want things to be different and better. And so some things like did need to be broken. So like the outrage is real, and like maybe something good will come of some of this stuff. I'm not saying a lot of it, but trying to keep a level head. It's like, this is where we are. So I can sit here and wring my hands, or I can know what's going on and then choose how to act and moving forward. Right. So I could also stick my head in the sand and watch Bravo and not even think about checking in on any of that stuff, which is also a beautiful thing to do. And that's all we all can do, is look for the little moments of joy to help keep our heads on straight, that like no one's ever happy all the time. That's like an untrue thing that we all kind of strive for, I think. No one's happy all the time.
Oh, man.
Sorry. Didn't mean for that to end sadly, but I think it's also like hopeful.
Well, thank you so much. You are a stylist that can help people clean their closets and have a philosophy of shopping your own closets. So if anyone wants Allie to help them do that, I'll include links to her in the show notes. You also have a Substack, which is a wild place, which I really enjoy.
I never know what I'm going to write about till I sit down an hour before I
know. So I'll have a conversation with you, and then an hour later I'll see part of that conversation in the Substack. I'm like, dang, you go fast.
I did. I wrote about it once. I was like, this would probably be better if I like planned it and sat down and did. Came back to it tomorrow.
It makes it very you, and it makes it feel very current, and I love it.
Yeah. It's been a really nice outlet for me. So thank you for reading it.
Of course.
I enjoy it too. But yeah, thank you for having me on here.
Thank you, and I'll include everything in the show notes about you.
Thank you, and thank you.
Bye.
And can I tell you one more thing?
Wait, do you want to record this?
You can choose to or not.
Okay.
I mean, you can eliminate it. Okay. But I'm with my 3-year-old nephew, and I just read a book about worms.
Okay.
And you were with me because we planted together. And now know more about worms, and I'm less squeamish of them. And when digging in dirt, I'm not running away from them like I used to.
That's so great.
Yeah, it was a wonderful worm children's book.
That's so nice. You got to revisit worms.
I think it's called Yucky Worms.
Yucky Worms. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Highly recommend.
Okay, well, I'm keeping this in. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I love you so much.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to the show. If you like this episode or you've liked this season, leave me a 5-star review, please, on Spotify. We've got tons of reviews on Apple, not a lot on Spotify. Let me tell you how to do it. Go to the show. Look for that little gear icon. There's 3 little dots next to it. Hit it. Drops down. Leave a review. Hit 5 stars. That's it. It'll help more people find the show, and I'll just really appreciate it. All right. Talk to you next season.